Hello everyone, how is everyone doing? Everyone can hear me? If you can hear me, you can write something in the chat that you can hear me. You should be able to hear me correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So everyone can hear me? If you can hear me, you can go ahead and write something in the chat that you can hear me correctly. Okay, audio is good, video is good. The font size hopefully will be good too. Everyone should be able to see the font size. If you can't see the font size, then I can increase the font size, but it should be big enough, hopefully. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you everyone for coming. Now, this small session, we're going to cover the new navigation API that was introduced in iOS 16 for SwiftUI. You can see that I am using Xcode 14 beta. So in order to use the navigation in order to use the new navigation API, you have to be using the Xcode 14. So I have already downloaded that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Well, the audio is the same. I haven't really changed anything for the audio, so it should be fine, should be good, hopefully. Okay, so the navigation in SwiftUI has always been a problem. Unlike React and unlike Flutter, you can't really create more of a global animation or global thing that you're doing. Several audio streams overlapping. Let's see what's going on. I don't see anything else going on over here. And I don't really hear my audio. Yeah, I don't hear my audio, so I don't know if there's overlap going on right now. Let's see. Okay. I've quit Zoom, so I don't know if that's going to help or not. But apart from that, audio should be fine. Are you playing a video with audio? I'm not playing anything, no. There is no video with audio. Let me double check it. No, there is nothing going on over here. So okay, so audio should be fine. So definitely check. Maybe you have two different streams running at the same time. All right. Okay, so let's get back to it. The navigation in SwiftUI has always been a problem because it doesn't really allow you to create those kind of like a global navigation. So in iOS 16 and Xcode 14 in SwiftUI, they introduce a new type of thing, which is the navigation stack. So how were we doing the navigation before? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We were using the navigation view, right? And we were creating a navigation link. So if I want to create a link, a navigation link, meaning just a link to go to details, I can do something like this. This is kind of like the current way that we perform the navigation. We created a navigation link, and in the navigation link, we have a destination. This means when I click on the link, it simply takes me to the destination. And this is all working fine. Now, if you start using the navigation view in Xcode 14, you can already see that if I select navigation view, it is telling us that the navigation view will be deprecated in the future versions and use the navigation stack or the navigation split view. So let's go ahead and see that how we can use navigation stack. Now the navigation stack works similar to the navigation view, but there are also differences. The navigation stack will allow you to do programmatic navigation. It will also allow you to kind of like keep track of the history of the things that you're doing. So right now I've created a navigation stack. I can go ahead and create a navigation link in there. And if I do that, it's going to kind of work just like before. So I can just go ahead and say, go to details, and I can put a text link and say that this is details. So if I click on this link, I can go to the details. So nothing really got changed from that perspective. They're both working kind of like the same exact way, right? Now the thing that will make navigation stack a bit different is that you can navigate to a different view based on the value of the navigation link. So let's go ahead and take a look at a different example. One of the functions, the navigation link, if I say navigation link, you can see that one of the ways that you can create a navigation link is by providing a title. Let's say go to details and a value. Now this was not really available previously. The value, I can send anything. This is the value that I want to basically send to the destination view. All right. Now this is where the complexity comes in, because if I simply create this and I click on the go to detail, nothing really happens. You can see I'm clicking on it and there's nothing going on, because this is where the programmatic navigation is going to take place. So whenever you're using a navigation link inside the navigation stack and you're providing the title and you're providing the value, you must also provide a navigation destination based on the data type of the value. So what is the data type of the value? Well, it is string. So this means that we must provide a navigation destination based on the string type. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this in the VStack. Now the reason that I'm wrapping it up in a VStack is not because it's not going to work if I don't wrap it. It's because I want to put the navigation destination a little bit higher up there, so that if I have more navigation links inside this, they will be able to see it too. And now I can use this new navigation destination. You can see the navigation destination now allows you to provide this navigation, to set up this navigation based on the type, the data type. So what is the data type of the value? This one? Well, it's string. So we're going to say string. And the destination? Well, in the destination, we will get the string value, which is hello world, by the way, and we will go to some destination. So you can see that this is more of a programmatic navigation that we're doing, where the value of the navigation link dictates that where the navigation destination, where you will end up. Now, if I run this code, I can go to hello world, passing in the value also. All right. Now, how many navigation destinations you can create? Well, it can be many other navigation destinations. So let me go ahead and create a navigation link again. And in this case, I'm just going to say something else. Let's say link 2. And the value is 100. Now, if I create a link 2 over here, and obviously you can write some other name, and the value is 100, if I click on that link, it's not really going to go anywhere. But the first link does go somewhere. The reason that first link go to details goes somewhere is because we have provided the navigation destination for the string, and the value of the first link is a string, so that is being handled. But the second link that we have, or the second value or the second navigation link, consists of a value of type integer, and we have not really defined anything with the integer. So we don't have a navigation link or navigation destination for integer. So we have to provide another navigation destination which will support the integer values. And then we can go somewhere. And this is how NavigationStack allows you to perform this navigation based on the type of the actual value of the navigation link. Now if I go ahead and press on link 2, I can go to a completely different URL. Now in both the cases we are using text view, but you get the idea. You can replace the text view with some other view, and that will display, or that will be your destination. All right. In the same way, we can use our model types also. So what if I have another navigation link with a title and a value? Go to movie. The value in this case can be some sort of a movie, which we don't have, by the way. So we will have to probably create that. We don't really have anything called Spider-Man or a movie. So let's go ahead and create a particular movie, making sure that the movie is hashable. All right. So now we have created a third link. And in this third link, the link is simply saying go to the movie, and the value of the movie is movie struct, which is Spider-Man. If I click on the movie, it doesn't do anything. Why it doesn't do anything? Well, we have the same exact reason again, because we haven't provided a navigation destination for that particular movie. And that is why it's not going anywhere. So we can go ahead and write the same exact code again for handling the data type for the movie. So now we have 3 different destinations because we have 3 different types: string, integer, and movie. Now if I go to the movie, I can easily go from one place to the other. All right, so in essence, this is the navigation stack. It allows you to do programmatic navigation easily. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another example where we are displaying, and this time we are displaying a list, right? I mean, the concept will kind of like be the same, because in the list also we can use navigation links. So what I'm going to do is probably copy some of this stuff into a backup file. If you want to read that file, you can actually do that later on. I'm just going to go ahead and say backup, because I will be removing this code anyways. Okay. Okay, so if we want to create a list of movies, let's go ahead and add the year of the movie too. It doesn't really matter. I mean, there can be other properties of the movie also. And we're not really going to use a stack anymore because we want to display a list. So in order to display a list, the first thing we need is an array of movies. So let's go ahead and create a hard-coded array of movies. And now we can go ahead and display movies. This doesn't really change. It's the same exact thing that you were doing before anyways. The list is the same. Over here, we can create a navigation link and pass in the name of the movie, and the value of the movie can be simply a movie. So now we can see that movies are getting displayed. All right. So movies are getting displayed, but when I click on the movie, it doesn't take me anywhere. Again, we are at the same problem. We have not defined where do you want to go when you click on the movie. So we still have to go to the navigation destination, and provide movie.self with the destination. There we go. Now, obviously, you're not really going to use a text view. You will probably have a movie details view. So if you want to create a movie details view, you can also do that. This is completely up to you how you are displaying the movies. But if I want to create a movie detail view, I can probably do it something like this. And display whatever I want. Movie.name. So instead of using a text view, now I can use a movie detail view and pass in the movie. All right. Okay, try to process that information. I'll be right back in 2 seconds. I'm sorry, I have to go and open up a door for someone, but try to process that information. I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, everyone, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's continue. If you have any questions, you can definitely type it out on the chat window. Okay, so you've already learned about NavigationStack and how the navigation link with the title and the value works. You have to define the navigation destination, which is allowing your navigation to take place based on the type that you're providing, which is pretty cool, right? Now, another thing which is important over here is you have complete control of the navigation, and it will allow you to even set something, like if you set a navigation path to something, then it will also perform that navigation. All right, let's see what I'm talking about. So let's say that if I wrap this with a list, I mean in a VStack, okay? And let me go ahead and put it anywhere. I'm just going to put it right there. Nothing really changed. We just added a VStack, all right? One of the things that NavigationPath also provides you is that you can control the path or the array of path, which means that you have complete control of which element, which object you want to go, or when and where you want to perform the navigation, if you want to go back or forth, and so on. And that is done by providing a path over here. Now, what exactly is the path? Well, path can be a collection of anything. In this case, it is, since we want to perform navigation only on a specific type like movie, we're creating a path which is an array of movie, initially starting with empty array. You can think of it as kind of like a history. And when we create our application, we're starting our path, meaning our routes and everything, like a history will be nothing, it's empty. Okay. If I run this right now, it works the same way. Nothing really got changed from our end. What if I want to add a button also in my navigation path? So let's add a button. Go or show movie of the week. Okay, so we added a button somewhere on the bottom, and that button is saying show me the movie of the week. Well, the movie doesn't really have any property which defines that if this is the movie of the week or not. So let's go ahead and say movie of the week, and it can be a Boolean, and all of them will be turned to false. So when you create a movie object, all of them will be false. And for one of the movies, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it to true, Lord of the Rings. So that's the movie of the week. So what I want to do now is when I click the button, which is show movie of the week, I want to go to the Lord of the Rings. That's the movie I want to go to. That's the movie I want to show to the user. So how can we do that? Right? Well, the first thing we need to do is find the movie of the week. So let's get the movie. Guard let movie of the week. And then we can say filter, not filter, but we can actually use first. And we can simply go through this and say, if it's a movie of the week, then give me that. Else, don't really do anything. So this is how we can find the movie of the week based on the, their property, which is true, movie of the week. We can call it movie if you want to, that's fine also. And then we can simply set the path to that particular movie. And that's the power of using path. We're simply saying that, yeah, you need to go over there now and show me the movie of the week. So now if I go ahead and run my application, the top part remains functional because we are using a list and we are performing navigation based on the movie type. But the bottom one over here, if I click on show movie of the week, it takes me to that particular movie because that is the only movie of the week. So it allows us very much dynamic access that if we set the path to something, it will allow us to do that. All right, so that is actually very, very powerful, that it is allowing us to set the path to something new, and that will trigger the animation, or that will trigger the navigation, and we will end up going to that particular path. Now, this only works because you have defined navigation destination. If you have not defined navigation destination on a particular type of the movie, then it will not work because it's going to say that, well, I don't know how to handle it. And that's it. All right. Now, currently, we have the path, but path is only accessible inside the content view because we have used it through the state, and state is local, state is private, it is not available in different views. This is a private state. So what if I want to access the path and whatever is in the path, which is all the history that you are maintaining, in different parts of the application? How can you do that? Well, in order to do that, you will have to create a global path, meaning a global state. So let me go ahead and create a global state. And global state in SwiftUI is basically using the environment object. So I'm just going to create the app state. And why are we doing that? Why are we creating a global state, or why do we even have to access the path in a different views? Well, the reason we may want to access a path in a different views is that in a different view, we may have a button which will say, take me to the root, take me to the home page. And how can we accommodate that? How can we click on a button that in a very deep nested hierarchy that will take us to the root? So that is what we're trying to do. Like if I go to Lord of the Rings over here and I can see the details, right? Now, if I have another button over here that will say, take me to the root, how will that actually work? I mean, this particular view that you're looking at does not have access to the path. So how can it take you back to the root? I mean, yeah, I can click the back button, obviously, but without clicking the back button, how can we go back to the path? And I think that's what we're trying to build. So I'm going to go ahead and create the app state and put the path variable for movies in the app state. Next, I can go ahead and inject the app state in my previews so that my previews are working. app state. Apart from the previews, I will also need to inject it in the actual app, which is in the app file. That's when you're actually running the app. The previews are just for previews. This code is for when you're actually running the app. Okay, so we have created the app state. We have created a property inside the app state, which is path, which holds the path of all the movie paths that you have. And now instead of using this one, which is kind of like a local path or the local state, we can use the environment object. Environment object var app state, which is of type app state. And now instead of using the path, which no longer exists, we can use app state.path. This means that if we are setting something, we will also set it up to be app state.path. Now, since it is in an environment object in SwiftUI, you can access it in different views. And whenever any view is going to change the app state property, which is, the path property, it is going to be reflected in the content view also. The content view will re-render itself. So now if I run this, it hopefully is going to run the same exact way as before. You can see it's working as the same thing. But now if I go to my movie detail, and probably I will add another button over here, take me to root or the home screen. I want to click on this button and I want to take me back to the home screen, which I know that I can go using the back button, but let's just say that we're very deep into the hierarchy and we want to go back to the root. How can we do that? Well, we can get access to the path using the environment object, and you can say app state.path dot, and let's say if we can call remove all. That's it. That will take you back to the root. You can do that from anywhere in your code, anywhere from any view, however it might be nested, meaning however deep it might be nested. All right. Let's go ahead and check it out. If I say take me to the root, it takes you to the root. So this is a great way to build exit segues. Exit segues basically means that unwind segues, sorry. Unwind segues simply means that if you go from view A to view B to view C and you click a button in view C, you can go back to view A. So you can simply jump back to the view A, which is still possible in plain SwiftUI, the SwiftUI that you're using right now before iOS 16, but I think this makes it much, much easier. All right. Anyone has any question? Everyone is at least understanding some parts of it. Hopefully, I'm doing a good job in explaining. But this is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg. It does go a little bit more deeper into that. All right. So that's at least the basic of NavigationStack. Now, one of the things that you might see is not every single time you will be using a movie. Your application might be a little bit more complicated and it might have other types. You might have types like actors, right? So how would you do that? Like I can go ahead and probably create a new type right here. Show path struct, please. Show path struct. I'm not sure what that means. Path struct? What is path struct? Well, path is just a variable and it consists of the movies. Now, the question is, what happens if I have movies, but I also have actors? I'm kind of like confine myself to the movies, right? The path will only work if you have the movies. but I also have actors. Let's go ahead and create an actor. Hashable, name, and the name of the actor. Well, now we're in a bit of a problem because although I have created the actor, if I want to go to and show a particular actor, well, first of all, I need a link. So let's go ahead and add a link over here. Show actor. Or I can say probably like a show random actor or something. Let's say show random actor. All right. Well, what should we do now? How can I take you to the random actor? If I go ahead and say appstate.path, the appstate.path is now kind of hooked up on an array of movies, or the only path that it knows how to do is a path that consists of movies. But actor is not a movie. Actor is a different struct, a different thing. So how can we do that? Well, one of the ways that you can do that is to use a new type which is introduced, which is called the navigation path. And navigation path is a type eraser, which means that you will be able to put anything in there. So instead of just hard coding it to or just using a very concrete type like movies, we can actually create a path which is not the movies, but just a path which is navigation path. There we go. So navigation path is a type eraser, which means that the navigation path you can put anything you want. So how complicated would it be to implement tap to root from a table view where you potentially have multiple roots? You cannot really have multiple roots because the root is only one, right? I mean, you start from somewhere, like if I have to draw it out, if you are starting from, let's say this is your root, you go to this view, now you can go to this view, and if you want from here to go to here, that is super simple in the navigation stack, because all you need to do is to simply remove everything from the path and it will take you back there. So that's literally one line of code, which is also known as the unwinding segues. Okay, so once we have updated this to navigation path, the remove all doesn't work. So let's go ahead and comment that out for time being. The movie also doesn't work because it's no longer movies, because now it's a navigation path. So if you want to go to a particular path, now you have to append it. And we will append that movie. So whenever you're using a navigation path, one of the benefits that you get from the navigation path is that you can add different types to it. So now I can go ahead and say appstate.path, and I can also append a type for the actor. Well, I need to find, let's say, a random actor or something. So I need to find something to put in there. So let's go ahead and just find a random actor. So this is the formula or the code that we're using to find a random actor. Once we find the random actor, we can append it to the path. Appstate.path and then append. It still is not really going to work, and the reason it's not going to work is that we haven't really defined, we also need to have an array of actors. So let's go ahead and add an array of actors. There we go. Right there, I'm adding an array of actors, finding the random actor, and then putting the random actor in that path. That is going to trigger the navigation, but it's not going to work still. If I click on it, it's not going to do anything. But the movie one works. The show random movie is working correctly, but the show random actor is not. And the reason we can see is right there. For the show random movie, we have a movie destination, but for actor, we haven't defined any destination. So let's go ahead and add a navigation destination for the actor also. And now we should be able to go to a text view showing the name of the actor. Oh, maybe not. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Probably should work. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I need to refresh it. Okay, there we go. All right. So we have the random actor, we have the show movie, we can do a navigation in many different ways. And the questions of, hey, how can I pop to the root? Well, since we have put our path in the environment object, we can access it in any view that we want. And all we need to do is to say appstate.path.remove last, and well, not remove last. Let's go ahead and double check it. Path.remove last, which is the app state.path.count, I believe. So that is going to allow you to pop to root. And you can do this from any view, however deeply it is nested. And there we go. Tap to root. Take me to the root. All right. So this was the basic kind of like an introduction to the new navigation stack. Navigation stack still does have a lot of other things like the navigation split view, and that is something that we can discuss probably later on. But I will probably stop over here. I don't want to go further into this. I would say definitely try it out. It is a very much improvement on the existing navigation view, and it allows you to create these global navigation controls or global navigation configurations, which have been used in React and Flutter. So now we are taking those similar concepts, I guess, and bringing it to SwiftUI. All right. And apart from that, I will post the code probably on Twitter. If you want to learn more about SwiftUI or core data or something, you can definitely check out my courses on the link, which is right there on your YouTube chat. And hopefully you have enjoyed this video. And if you want to follow me, I'm on Twitter also, and my Twitter is Azam Sharp. All right. And once again, thank you so much everyone for coming. Hope you have enjoyed it. And I'll be back in the future with some new sessions, and in which we'll learn something new about SwiftUI or something else. Thank you again for coming. And this will be the end of stream.